Welcome back to the Mountain View Post Radio Hour on KONR-LP Anchorage 106.1 FM. Thank you for tuning in. My name's Kirsten Swan, and I'm joined here in the studio right now by our first guest, who's Andre Cash. He's the owner of Cashware Clothing Company, and he's here to talk about a special event he has coming up next week. But Andre, thank you for coming in this morning and making time to be here with us.
Thank you also for allowing me the time to come out and speak to you. I appreciate it.
So your business, Cashware Clothing Company, listeners, you might have seen it. It's in the Fifth Avenue Mall there. It's up on the, I'm going to say, third floor or
Good
so.
guess.
Yeah, kind of over by the J.C. Penney entrance.
Yep.
And tell us about your business and kind of what you do.
Okay.
And yeah.
So basically, I'm just sell suits, jewelry, cologne, men's fine apparel, accessories, shoes, stuff like that.
And it's like nice, something you'd wear to a job interview or a nice occasion. These are suits
Yes,
and
ma'am.
nice, it's not necessarily like casual wear.
No, it's more or less after 6 o'clock, going out to a date, a prom, everybody, prom season's right now.
Yep.
Sometimes, unfortunately, funerals, church events. Sometimes we deal with, what's the other event? Interviews.
Right.
People get dressed up for that type of stuff in church, pretty much.
So all those occasions where you want to look formal and you want to look your best and put your best foot forward.
Yep.
And so I know a few weeks ago, Jasmin, our Mountain View Community Council president, Mountain View resident, who is working with you on this, she's a neighborhood entrepreneur as well, was talking a little bit about the event that you're planning next week and how you're planning on taking what you do, which is provide this great professional business wear and working with youth somehow. So tell us what you have planned.
Okay, so I'm pretty excited about this event because what it is we're doing a tie-tying seminar. What we titled it first was Boys to Men, but for copyright sake, we didn't want to
Right.
step on their feet or nothing like that. So we just called it.
Wait, is there something else called Boys to Men?
Well,
Yeah.
exactly.
Is that name taken? Okay.
So
See.
basically, all it is it's a ceremonial approach towards young men learning how to establish themselves successfully. And what we're doing is we're teaching young men how to tie ties, and we're also going to be providing them with the tie, and that's going to be theirs to keep.
And that's one of those things. I mean, I'm not speaking from personal experience, but I have brothers, and you see that's kind of a big thing, learning how to tie a tie.
Yeah.
And people don't always necessarily have someone who can show them how to do that, or
Exactly.
even have some place to get that first tie.
Exactly.
So what was kind of the inspiration behind this event? How did this all come together? And
Okay, well, it's kind of a long story, but to sum it up, when I got in the Army, I had to help a lot of people put their ties on in basic training. And I remembered that, and I was blessed to have my father teach me how to do it. So when I had the opportunity as a business to present that to other people that may not have that opportunity, or maybe fatherlessness sometimes exists in the home, and not necessarily even if the father's there or not, just the opportunity to learn that towards applying that for your life, I think that'd be a good thing. So when I actually started out my business, the bricks and mortar one was one building next to you guys. I was in the blue building on 4th Avenue Market.
Okay.
And I had a 600 square foot store. Before then, I was at the Trunk. So it's been a long journey. I went from there to Northway and then the 5th Avenue Mall now. So, and I wanted to do it when I was over on 4th Avenue, but I didn't have, should we say, the income to support it. And I also didn't have enough exposure to get it out there. So now that our footprint is getting a little bit bigger, we're like a size 4 instead of a baby's child size now. I think right now would be a good opportunity to do it, especially with everything that's going on with our community.
so how many young men do you expect to participate in this event next week? And how did you connect with them? And tell me about that.
Okay, so the expectancy that I'm projecting is a minimum of 100. If we can get more out there, then I would be very happy to see that number increase.
Wow.
But the way that we're approaching this is I've been hitting the pavement hard. I've drove around pretty much the east side of Anchorage, to give out flyers. I even went through Anchorage School District and had their blessings for me to drop off posters. So far, I've reached Clark, Bartlett, and I'm going to drop off some Monday morning at East and Windler.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then also, obviously, Miss Jasmin Smith in the Business Boutique has had a huge outreach. Her tentacles, and her arms, way outreach mine. I'm just two arms, but she has, a plethora of people that can help get that, out there also.
So you're able to get those connections.
Yes,
and,
ma'am.
and
Yeah.
reach out.
Mm-hmm. And also, I went to a lot of barbershops, Yankees, Hair Science. I went over to the hair doctors. Shout outs to Shahid and Omar and Sean and who else? Let me see.
You've been covering a lot of ground.
Yeah. I mean, even Target, Walmart. Who else? I went over to David's Jewelers over in Tacotinu area, Target over there. I'm just trying to get the word out to, just to afford the opportunity to somebody else and help them learn how to tie a tie, and hopefully it can help change their life for the better.
And so this is going to be happening on the 27th at 5 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this at your store at the Fifth Avenue Mall that you'll be doing it, or?
Well, no, we're going to be hosting it upstairs in the food court.
Okay.
And we have, Sullivan Steakhouse is going to be there, giving out snacks and stuff like that, and also appetizers for free.
Wow.
And, shout outs to Stephen Welch over at Fifth Avenue Mall Management and their team over there. They've been great, helping us get all this stuff, forwarded to make it happen. So
I think that's wonderful that the mall is letting you kind of spread out a little bit, because with 100 people, to jam that all into your store would be kind of that's a lot of people. That's a great turnout, and it'll be good to have kind of room to spread out a little bit more. So you were mentioning a little bit earlier that when you first started out your business, Cashware Clothing Company, was that the name back then as well, or
no,
did you change?
Honestly,
Go through some name changes.
well, believe it or not, I used to sell grills, like diamond teeth, gold teeth. I did that when I was in the Army. I was cutting hair in the barracks.
No kidding.
Yeah, selling Jordan shoes, Nikes, all kind of stuff, mixtape DVDs, perfume for your car. I mean, you name it, I had it.
So you're the guy to know.
Yeah, I had everything you can think of. Back then. Then I grew up, so
kind of focused it a little bit more.
I kind of coned it in and said, okay. My mom she's the one. She said, you know what, son, being a jack of all trades means you're a master of nothing. So what are you going to do? What are you going to sell? What are you going to do? And I was like, I don't know. Because at this time I had like Red Monkey jeans and the Ibisu jeans out my trunk. I was making money, but, I couldn't account for nothing, because I wasn't doing it the legal way. So I said, okay. Then, I went to college over at Wayland. After that, I said, okay, I need. Well, actually, during me going to school, that's when I opened up my business on 4th Avenue. So
okay,
yeah.
So, what advice would you give to up and coming entrepreneurs who maybe have that idea and that passion like you had, but don't have it really polished yet? Because in Mountain View, I know I've had the opportunity to speak with lots of people who have this idea and have the drive and want to make something happen and want to build this business of theirs. What would you recommend they do, or even a long-term approach to help? Because like you said, you went from out of your trunk to this place now in the Fifth Avenue Mall, and you're about to help 100 young men take this next step, and you can see kind of the growth of your business.
Oh yeah,
very visibly. So yeah, how?
Honestly, the first approach is to get it in black and white. Write down your ideas. I have inventions that I'm working on right now, so I'm in the process of getting that patent. And I didn't get where I am with that without seeing it on black and white first. You have to see the vision before you can see it happen. So my first thing to say is, young gentlemen and ladies, write it down. You have to really look at your vision and write it down where you'll see it every day. whether that's for young men standing up using the bathroom over the toilet. You see that every day. Next to your light switch, when you turn on and off your lights, you want to see it every day, because once you see it, then you can believe it. And that's where I would say, that is. And also, get a mentor. Get somebody that can point you in the right direction. Shouts out to my uncle, Arthur Goolsby. He's been a major, major person in my life that has mentored me and told me, nephew, you got to do like this. Dale Johnson, that's another one. You have to see it. And then Mr. Jupert, that owns the Fairview Auto, you don't know it, but you're one of my biggest inspirations also. So I appreciate that too.
So for those of you who are just tuning in right now, we're here in the studio with Andre Cash. He's the owner of Cashwear Clothing Company, and he's holding a special event next week on the 27th at 5 p.m. at the Fifth Avenue Mall in the food court. It's a tie-tying ceremony for young men to kind of take that next step, really. And so I actually do have a question from a listener who's texted and asked, tie versus bow tie, will you be sharing both techniques, or is it one or the other, and also why? Okay,
so basically, thanks for tuning in. Thank you for being inquisitive about the event. What we're doing is this time we're just going to just be doing ties. However, if whoever you are, if you come to the store at any given moment and I'm there, I'll help you learn how to tie a bow tie. But just for this event, for time's sake, we only have an hour and a half allotted, so we're just going to be doing just ties right now. But that's a good question.
Bow ties look complicated. Yeah, I've never been able to figure it out myself. So
honestly, it's like riding a bike. Once you get it down the first time, it's good to go.
So what are the men's fashion rules though? If I show up to if a man shows up in an interview in a bow tie versus a regular tie, is that like considered gauche, or what are the rules? What do you tell your customers?
Honestly, keep it simple. KISS. Keep it simple. Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna say what the last S represents.
People know. Yeah, they know.
But anyway, a bow tie is more formal than a regular tie is for the business setting. So, if you're going to a wedding, sure. You're going to a prom, throw on a bow tie. But if you're going to a job interview, I would keep it pretty regular with a regular tie, and I wouldn't even go too flashy with the design. You pretty much want to keep that a basic solid,
So no distraction, so people can focus on your qualifications and how qualified you are for the job. So, which you mentioned prom, and you're right, it's prom season now, and a lot of guys are probably getting ready to do that. What should people be looking for? What's in style this year?
Well, I'm going to say, that's a good question also. And to me, you're only in high school, gentlemen. So don't go to a place that's going to rip you off. If you're going to come, to your prom, which keep in mind you're still growing, so you don't want to spend $600 on 2 suits.
Oh, that's good advice. Yeah.
Even if you get one free, it's not really free. Do the math. You pay $300 a piece. So our suits are $200 a piece average, and we have the same brands as other competitors. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but we don't have any flashy commercials telling you can buy one and get one for free. So if you watch TV, you know who I'm talking about.
That's good advice. So remember, you're still growing. This is not necessarily going to fit you a year from now.
Exactly. And who's to say, and you're right, it is an investment. So with that being said, your question was...
Oh, what fashion for prom?
Okay,
yeah,
fashion. I'm sorry. I kind of sidetracked because I get a little.
That's what happens on the radio show. You start out talking about one thing, and an hour later, you're like, well, here exactly. We are, a totally different subject. So,
exactly.
But yeah, how to?
Okay, so honestly, for your prom, a slim tux, is always nice. A slim suit is something you can utilize again. So keep that in mind. I wouldn't go with bulky patterns unless your date approves of that, because you got to keep it in mind. Whoever you're going to your prom with has to be happy with how you look also.
Right.
So I would definitely say spread collars are in, slim fit suits are in, cufflinks are coming back. French cuff shirts, and we do carry those. Big or small, we try to fit them all. And and the biggest mistake a lot of people do is they do last minute shopping. Mm-hmm. And when you do last minute shopping, you become desperate. Mm-hmm. So plan ahead,
It's very relatable for me, yes.
At least 8 days in advance, you want to go out there and at least put something on layaway so you can pick it up in time and get it also fitted for you. So
avoid that last minute anxiety.
And the costs go up when you wait till last minute, always. Because you have to rush delivery, you have to rush services, and it's better just to, have it ready to go, and then you put it on and go,
Mm-hmm. So yeah, pre-plan, I guess, is the moral of the story, which is kind of really what your event, it seems like next week, is helping people do in the grand scheme of things, getting those skills and being able to be ready for when the moment arrives and be able to put your best foot forward.
That's it.
And so if people are just tuning in, we're here with Andre from Cashware Clothing Company, and your event, one last time, give us the details.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gladly. So our event's going to be a tie-tying seminar, tie-tying youth events called Dress for Success Youth Tie-Tying event. So basically what we're doing is we're giving out free black ties. We may have skinny ones and we may have regular ones, but we know for sure we're going to have a minimum of 100 of those to give out. But all who come out will definitely get something, even if it's just a life lesson. You're going to receive something because we have guest speakers going to be coming there also.
Oh, okay. So who's lined up for guest speakers?
Well,
or can you is that a surprise, or can you tell us a little bit?
I can shed light on some of them. So Mr. Jorge Martinez, George Martinez.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everybody knows that guy. He's a guy to know.
He is a guy to know. But for people who might not know him,
what he does is right now he's teamed up with the mayor, and he's the mayor's assistant, and he also does life coaches speaking speeches. What's it called?
Motivational speaking.
Motivational speaking,
like
and he's also a big guru in the hip hop industry for Anchorage. So what he does, I remember he used to be over at UAA dealing with the hip hop, and I remember that. And what he does is he's going to be speaking there also, letting everybody know the importance of dressing for success. He doesn't even dress like he used to. I remember he used to dress pretty hip-hop-ish.
Really?
Now he wears ties and stuff. So
I was going to say, my picture of him is very tie and suit and City Hall. And yeah.
Yep. And, honestly, I used to dress like he used to dress, and then I grew up too. So, it's all about transitioning towards success, and what we're going to be doing is having Sullivan Steakhouse giving out treats and free appetizers.
Kind of set the mood. Very classy restaurant. Yeah.
Yep. And, if you're familiar with Sullivan Steakhouse, you know that they're one of the best, up here. And everybody that works there wears a tie, especially a black tie.
Right.
So that just went hand in hand. And they're really nice people. The staff there is great. And we're thankful and blessed that, they're helping us out with this event also. We're going to have the business boutique. Ms. Jasmin Smith is going to be facilitating and coordinating and helping everything be floating smoothly and doing what she does best. And we're going to have some guest speakers there teaching and talking and just giving life lessons on the importance of dressing for success.
And so this is going to be on Friday, the 27th, from 5 to 6:30 p.m. at the Fifth Avenue Mall.
On the food court level.
On the food court level. Andre, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for letting me come out.
We're going to
appreciate it.
It was great talking with you, and I'm really excited to see the turnout at the event next week.
Yeah.
And
you guys come out too, please, if you have a chance.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. I would love to. Stick around, stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Mountain View Post Radio Hour. My name is Kirsten Swan. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. So this is a big day down at the KONR studio. If you were tuning in earlier, you probably heard us talking about the fundraiser that KONR is doing. It started off on Thursday night. We had a great event down at the Avenue. We had Callie's Smoky Barbecue and Soul Food out front barbecuing, and we were raising some money for KONR to get a new transmitter so we can spread the signal a little bit farther out. around the community. And so that fundraiser is still going on. We have a GoFundMe page. It's gofundme.com/spreadtheweird, or you can search KONR Out North on GoFundMe and help us chip in for that new transmitter. And there's also an open house at the studio today. So swing by the studio. It is at 333 West 4th Avenue, and we're having an open house, and we'll have people popping in the studio all day. And we're kicking it off with a Mountain View Post Radio Hour. Right now with me in the studio, I have Jasmin Smith.
Hey, good to be back. How are you?
Good, Jasmin. Thank you so much for coming in this morning. And
no problem.
For those of you listening, this is Jasmin. She's a Mountain View resident and also the president of the Community Council. She's the owner of the Business Boutique. She's an educator. You help teach people. So you do many things. You wear many hats. And so, also you're in the studio this morning we have some other special guests.
Oh my gosh, yes, we have a twin takeover. So I'm hoping we get some nice focused conversation, but if you hear fun conversations in the background, that is why.
Right. It sounds like we're going to have some nice background music,
right,
which is awesome because this is an open house here at KONR, and we want people to come into the studio and we want them to learn about radio and have fun.
Definitely.
And we always also have opportunities for volunteer
That's
DJs.
Awesome.
Right, and so maybe Twin Takeover becomes
that'd be so fun.
A weekly thing.
Like that.
Right, because babies need radio.
Right, who knows what would happen when the twins take over.
Right, we'll have some music, we'll have some stream of consciousness, we'll have some dinosaurs and everything. So even we have the open house going on in the background. But Jasmin, we have you here in the studio today because I know you've had several events lately and then also coming up. Last week we were talking about the Wakanda Ball. Tell us, how did that go? You're wearing a shirt, a Wakanda Forever shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, quick summary, it was pretty amazing. Definitely a lot more work than I would have ever anticipated doing a banquet, but man, everybody was happy. It was a totally positive event. We sold out. Great entertainment. Our speaker had so much fun. He wants to come back this summer. He wasn't able to see all the kids at the Boys and Girls Club, but he loved it. And
that's Travis Love.
Yeah. He had a great time. So he definitely wants to come back. Maybe we can get him back for Juneteenth. It was a lot of fun. And we had a real diverse attendance, which made me happy. So we had everybody from all walks of life that came in one room to celebrate Africa. It was pretty cool.
That's amazing. I know we had the opportunity on the show last week.
Yeah, you got to meet him too, and
to talk. Well, we were able to speak with one of the co-MCs for the evening, Silverback.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Silverback. Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
and he came in and was able to tell us a little bit about it, and so we got kind of a little taste of the evening. But at that point, sadly, tickets were already sold out. So I felt like we were just telling people.
I felt bad. Yeah, I'm like, it's gonna be awesome. But no, next year we'll definitely be able to accommodate more people. So that's our goal. We kind of kept it medium size this year because we didn't know what to expect. But now that we know, we're going to definitely get some more folks.
And so this was a fundraiser for Juneteenth Anchorage and a partnership between the Business Boutique and other.
Yeah, well, so basically multiple businesses came together and we just said that it would be nice if we could just kind of kickstart Juneteenth this year. So it was a collective for us to come together and just kind of raise a couple seed funds so we can have a starting point with our bills.
And as Silverback mentioned that it's not the only event that's going to be taking place between now and Juneteenth, that there are some other things kind of spread out between now and then just to kind of keep the momentum going.
And we partnered too. It's kind of cool. We partnered with UAA, so Juneteenth is actually about 2 weeks long, and everybody kind of takes a day, and we all do some sort of an event. So, yeah, it's a little collective. We have a lot of things planned between the 16th of June and the 24th, so it's going to be pretty fun.
Oh, nice. Okay, so it's not even just a single day.
It's a multiple-day event.
Very cool. So, and then the tie-tying event. That we just had the opportunity to talk with Andre.
Yes, Andre is so amazing.
So how did you get involved with that event? What's your involvement with it?
Honestly, I think because I'm so much in the community, people just sometimes reach out and like, hey, I need help with something. So I saw Andre. I had to go to his store sometimes, and he was saying what he wanted to do. And me, I'm like, I'm down. If it's anything that's going to help kids, and he was so amazing because it was for all kids. So, it's not just one area specific. It's any young man who doesn't have a tie. They want to learn how to tie a tie. They need words of encouragement. I just think that with so much happening in our community right now, we totally need that. So when he was telling me his idea, I was nothing to just say, I'll help you. So, we just made a flyer and we just been kind of pushing it. And our goal is to just get as many boys as possible to the mall and teach them how to tie a tie.
That's awesome. And that, again, is on the 27th?
This Friday, 5 p.m. in the food complex upstairs at the mall. And if you want to sign up, you can email him or Facebook me, and we'll get you on the list.
Oh, fantastic. So the contact information again is?
You can do the 907. You can contact me, 230-4968. You can email info@thebusinessboutique.org. We have a Facebook event, and you can also inbox us any way you want, as long as we get as many kids as possible.
Fantastic. And that's, again, on the 27th from 5 to 6:30 at the 5th Avenue Mall. And this is a tie-tying event brought to you by Cashware Clothing Company, which is the business in the 5th Avenue Mall. We're extremely excited for that. And back in Mountain View, we also have another event. Next week is going to be another busy week.
Yes,
right, cleanup is starting. So I know you and other community council leaders have been working to gather volunteers and put this thing together for a little while now, because of course it's always a massive volunteer effort to get it off the ground.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the work leading up to it, and then we'll get down to the
first and
nitty-gritty
foremost,
details.
shout out to Nikki Burrows, because that is a lot of work.
And she's been doing it for how many
Nikki,
years
I
now?
love you. I did not know it was this much work. So, I guess it's kind of kicking off what's different this year. So, of course, we're going to do our volunteer kickoff day next Saturday, 11 a.m., Boys and Girls Club to, I think it was 2 or 3 p.m.
3 p.m., I think, yeah.
And we're going to have food, same thing as last time, kind of rally the troops. So, what's different this year is we're going to be actually having the lot at the New Hope Church. So we're going to be using that. And the thought process was it's more central in the neighborhood. When you're transporting your trash, you don't have to go by the main street. And we're hoping that it being in the neighborhood will attract more residents to use it. So the pickup lot days will be there. The city wasn't really supportive and let us use that parking lot for free. It'll also kind of help us save on some expenses as well. We were able to get a few things donated. I think the only difference this year is the lot will be open May 1st, Tuesday through Saturday.
Through the 5th.
Yeah, and then so Friday, because they do have a food bank at New Hope Church, we're going to close early out of respect for them and traffic.
That's okay. That is a really good point.
Yeah.
Earlier in the show, I was kind of reading the times for that pickup lot, but we remember on Friday.
And I literally live across the street from the church, and I can 100% I understand.
It's so busy
the
on
traffic.
Friday.
Yes,
and you see that line start to form
so
an hour
it's
before,
4 to 6. So on Friday the lot closes at 3, but we're going to have extra hours on Saturday to pick that up. So Saturday we're pretty much like 11 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay.
And so what's different this year is they're not picking up mattresses and they're not picking up couches. So the city, they're still extremely supportive, but they're very open with that. It's kind of a safety thing.
So that in the past, the couches and mattresses, those have been during the actual pickup day where we have like volunteers and trucks going curb to curb and picking up the large things that people can't get to dump themselves. So this year, no mattresses, no couches, you're saying?
Yeah, and it was an issue with like cleaning, safety, bed bugs, truthfully. But, they were graceful enough to say, we'll give a few extra passes for you to get those things, dumped. But so if you put it out there, I have to let everyone know they're not going to pick it up, and we don't want you to have any kind of fees or citations for you or the property owner. So, no couches this year and no mattresses. Everything else is a go. We have our pickup days, our bulk days with them scheduled. Everything's on our Facebook page, but it's just those are the two items that there's no wiggle room this year.
So are people able to bring those items to the dumpsters in the New Hope Park, in the New Hope parking lot? And could I bring like my old love seat and dump it there myself, or is it just blanket ban?
I have to double check. I don't believe we are receiving them. I think it has to be drop off this year. Like, don't 100% quote me, but I believe this year it has to go straight to that exchange lot. But I can look on our list, but I think that was the plan.
This is something we need to clear up.
Yeah,
but
it's definitely, we did extra steps this year to let them know, but like it's different, we understand people get excited for the cleanup. It's that chance to kind of purge, but we need to purge, within a right method in a right way, so we're not inundating our sidewalks and our like ease of access ways with everyone's furniture and trash,
which is something that definitely happens.
Yes. Yeah. Last year was my first year doing a full cleanup, and I'm like, it's a lot of work. So
right. So are there any items that people need to be aware of that they cannot bring to the drop-off site? Because I remember in the past there were some.
Yeah, I mean we have things like electronics, things of that nature. We have specific steps and processes for those things. I think electronics is a big one. Tires has a special process with it, and that's because when those are picked up, when we contract this person to pick them up, they go to a different place.
Okay.
So those are the top two that pop in my mind. That like when you come, they have a certain location, and I forgot the fee. Fridges is another one. I believe it's like $20 or something like that for the fridges. I have to double check. So those are the top 3 things that pop out, but there's like a process with it. So yeah, but my goal is to update the Facebook page. We're laughing because we hear someone playing the piano in the background. Didn't know my son had
and that
skills.
Someone might be 3 years old.
Yeah,
or 2 years
a 3-year-old playing the piano. So so we're going to be updating the Facebook again today. Maybe update the community council page, and then we can kind of send out some last minute, weekly just information on what's going to happen. We definitely still need volunteers. So
right. and that's a big thing, because it does take, like Jasmin mentioned, this is a huge community effort, and I know volunteers from the community council have been working for weeks and weeks to really organize and put all the pieces in place. So if people are interested in volunteering, what's the best way for them to contact you, and are there specific shifts, or what's kind of the volunteer setup this year?
So we always have a lot of people that comes to the volunteer kickoff day. The big need that we have is those lot days afterwards, at Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
If you can at least do a block of 2 to 3 hours, that's super helpful. If you want to sponsor a day with your group, that'd be even better. At the minimum, we try to have 2 people at the lot at all times, but of course more is better. So I'm really trying hard to get as many volunteers as possible for those lot days. I mean, whatever time you can do is helpful. If you want, you can Facebook me, you can email me, jasminsmith85@gmail.com.
And Jasmin, Jasmin, no E.
No E, yeah. So Jasmin Smith85@gmail. And we would love to have, some groups that want to adopt a day or volunteer.
So what exactly does it entail if you're going to adopt one of those days?
So it entails being the check-in person. You'd be verifying people's IDs to make sure they're from the neighborhood. You would direct them where their trash goes. You don't necessarily have to load all their trash into the dumpsters. Sometimes they ask for a little bit of help. It's mostly just overseeing like the dumpster process when the loader comes and takes things away. Kind of like your admin support per se.
Making sure that, those are the station keys. I'm going to keep those, little buddy. Thank you. And so, side note, I'm going to take this opportunity to say we are having an open house here in the KONR studio today for a fundraiser we're doing, and it's going to be going on all day, but we'll also have barbecue here in the studio later, and so that's going to be a lot of fun. So if anyone wants to stop by the studio, meet the DJs, meet people who will be doing stuff later on, come by. There'll be barbecue later, and it will be a lot of fun. We're going to go to a quick break right now. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Mountain View Post Radio Hour. Thank you for joining us on KONR-LP 106.1 FM. My name's Kirsten, and we were just here in the studio with Jasmin Smith from the Community Council and talking about cleanup. Hi. And Jasmin, thank you for being here. Before you take off for the day, I know you're here with 2 younger guests who have all kinds of energy this morning. But there were 2 events that we were talking about earlier in the show. First of all, coming up on the 27th, that's the
tie tying event, 5 p.m. 5th Avenue Mall. If you know a young man who has not received his first tie and he needs one, please bring him. It's 100% free. And Facebook me, email me. We will get him signed up on the list. And then cleanup kickoff day, Saturday, April 28th, 11 a.m., Mountain View Boys and Girls Club. We'll have some food, get ready to clean up our neighborhood. And if you want to sign up and volunteer for a future day at the lot, we would love, love, love it.
And they can contact you at?
Yes, jasminsmith85@gmail.com, JasminSmith
85@gmail.com.
Yes.
Get in touch with her. If you have a community group that's looking for some volunteer work, then you can help out the Mountain View Community Cleanup, and those lot days will be May 1st through 5th. And of course, we have the volunteer kickoff day on the 28th. Jasmin, thank you so much for coming into the studio with us this morning.
All right.
And I will see you next week.
I see you later.
Bye. So, as you know, we are in the middle of a KONR fundraiser right now, and it began kicking off on Thursday evening. We had a big event at the Avenue Bar. We had Cali Smoky Barbecue and Soul Food out there doing barbecue. We had a lot of live music by some awesome local bands that were performing. Thank you so much for coming by the show. We had some music on Thursday from bands that were performing, and we were raising money to get a new transmitter for KONR so we can amplify all of these local voices that are currently broadcast by the station. So that fundraiser is still going on, and it's going on today, and we're having an open house in the studio today. It's going on right now. It is going on all throughout the day. We'll have barbecue here a little later on. So come by the KONR studio. We're at 333 West 4th Avenue. Check it out. Also go to our GoFundMe, though, and learn a little bit more about it. And if you are able to, maybe consider supporting KONR and the work that the radio station does. We have a full cast of volunteer DJs who broadcast local music, talk about local issues. We have local guests talking about upcoming events, all that fun stuff. You can learn more about the station at outnorthradio.com. Also, if you're interested in learning about opportunities, maybe to do your own show, or other ideas for the station, check it out. That's outnorthradio.com, or come by the studio today down on 4th Avenue, learn a little bit more about it. And of course, visit our GoFundMe. That's gofundme.com/spreadtheweird. Also, you can just search KONR-LP on GoFundMe and connect with us there. Maybe consider supporting the radio station. So one of the things we're trying to do here on the Mountain View Post Radio Hour, if you've been listening to the show, we frequently have guests from the neighborhood who talk about local issues and events that are coming up and things that are happening. We've played recordings of different meetings that have happened in the neighborhood. We've played a little music. We had some special music from the Clark Middle School drumline a few weeks ago. At the Mountain View Post, we're all about sharing neighborhood voices and perspectives and tastes and all of that fun stuff. And we're looking for more people to get involved, whether you're interested in writing or taking pictures for Mountain View Post magazine, which comes out this spring and again this summer, or whether you're interested in getting involved with the blog at mountainviewpost.com, or whether you have a specific interest in radio and are interested in learning more about the Mountain View Post Radio Hour right here. We would love to hear from you. We want to involve as many Mountain View residents as possible, and we have several platforms to do that. So if that describes you, if you are maybe interested in putting together a playlist for the show, or you are a musician and want to come and maybe perform live in the studio, that's even an option, or play some of your music, your pre-recorded music on air, or come and talk about your music, or maybe you have an event to promote, or any of those things, we want to get you involved with Mountain View Post, and we want to have you here on the show. You can contact us by heading to our blog, and that's mountainviewpost.com, mtviewpost.com, to learn more about this radio show. You can listen to old archived episodes. You can contact us, share ideas if you have an idea for a good topic to cover on the show, or stories, things that you think we should be covering on the blog or in future issues of the magazine. Bottom line, we want to hear from you, and we want you to be involved with Mountain View Post too, especially if you live in the neighborhood. So visit us on our blog, mtviewpost.com, to learn more. And we owe a big thank you to KONR-LP Anchorage 106.1 FM, this station, for giving us this platform and allowing us the opportunity to broadcast so many voices and perspectives from the neighborhood every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m., although you are hearing a little bit of a special show today because we're having a special event here in the studio. Which brings me to that special event. KONR is affiliated with Out North Art House and is also completely run by volunteers and also generous donations from the community. And we're in the process right now of having a fundraiser to try and raise some money to get ourselves a new transmitter, which will help broadcast all of the shows, Mountain View Post Radio Hour, and many other local shows to a larger audience around Anchorage. So the fundraiser kicked off on Thursday night. It was a great time. It was out here on 4th Avenue, right across the street from the KONR studio. It was held at the Avenue Bar. We had live music. We also had fresh, delicious, spicy barbecue from Cali's Smoky Barbecue and Soul Food, who are out grilling on the sidewalk. And we raised hundreds of dollars to go towards this new transmitter. But we're hoping to raise about $7,500 for that cost, and we still have a long ways to go. Last time I checked, we were about 10% of the way there, and so we need community support to do that. You can visit the GoFundMe for the radio station. That's gofundme.com/spreadtheweird, or search for KONR Out North on GoFundMe and make a donation that way. Or you could, come into the station today. We're having an open house at the station at KONR on 4th Avenue here. It's right by Laura Wright Parkies and the Rusty Harpoon gift shop, kind of right there by the starting line to the Iditarod, right in the middle of downtown. So come check out the station, learn more about it. And if you are interested in supporting it, if you're a fan of what goes on here at KONR, then you can go over to the GoFundMe. That's gofundme.com/spreadtheweird, and hopefully make a little donation to help strengthen the station and help it kind of go to the next level. So before we close out today's show, I do have a few more events for Mountain View residents you can add to your calendars. As you know, we always have so many things going on in the neighborhood, and it's definitely a lot to keep track of. And so we try to do our part to keep everyone plugged in with all of the current events that are happening in Mountain View specifically. So at the library, you know, there's always a lot going on there, and immediately coming up on Friday, we have a special job fair expo planned, taking place May 4th from noon to 3 p.m. This is for anyone seeking a job or career info. I hear there are going to be about a dozen businesses, more than a dozen businesses, expected to be at this job fair and employer expo. Participants are asked to bring applicable employability documents. You will have the opportunity to talk with Job Center representatives, possibly, you know, even maybe do some interviews or connect with employers who are hiring. This is sponsored in part by the Anchorage Community Land Trust, Anchorage Public Library, Mountain View Community Center, and the state of Alaska. And if you're looking for more information about this event, you can contact the Midtown Job Center at 907-269-4777. Again, you can contact the Midtown Job Center. That's 907-269-4777. So this is a job fair and employment expo. It's coming to the Mountain View Neighborhood Library on Friday, May 4th from noon to 3 p.m. If you're looking for a job or you know somebody who is, this would be a great place to connect and get started on that process. So mark it down, May 4th, noon to 3 p.m. at the Mountain View Neighborhood Library. And then, of course, you might need a little preparation getting ready for that event, maybe a little help polishing your cover letter or resume, or a little advice on interviews or how to really, you know, dress professionally for that job you're hoping to get. So there is a pre-job fair workshop that's also happening at the neighborhood library, and that's on April 24th, Tuesday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. So if you're planning on attending the job fair on Friday, or you know, any other job fairs, you're looking for a job and you need a little extra support to do that, plan on attending this pre-job fair workshop on April 24th. It's just an hour long at the Mountain View Neighborhood Library, and you'll be able to get a little extra help and, you know, advice and support to put your best foot forward when you're attending these job fairs and continuing on your job search. So that pre-job fair workshop, again, is on April 24th. And then, of course, like Jasmin was talking about earlier in the show, we have a big weekend next weekend in Mountain View. Our neighborhood cleanup is kicking off on April 28th, and that there's a volunteer kickoff day on April 28th. It's at the Mountain View Boys and Girls Club. It goes from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. There will be lunch and prizes for volunteers, and that kicks off a whole week-long community cleanup event. There will also be a dump lot where neighborhood residents will be able to bring trash to dispose of in dumpsters that will be set up temporarily in the parking lot of New Hope Baptist Church from May 1st to May 5th. That's noon to 7 p.m. on most days except on Friday, as Jasmin explained, because we have another event going on in the church. And then on the 27th, if you were listening to the show earlier this morning, you heard us talking about a special tie tying ceremony for young men who will, you know, take that step, be given a free tie, learn how to tie it, and get support from professionals in the community, you know, motivational speakers, that type of thing. That event is happening on the 27th at the 5th Avenue Mall up in the food court. It's from 5 to 6:30 p.m. There'll be young men from Mountain View and, you know, other neighborhoods around Anchorage too who will be participating in this and getting those ties. And that's the 27th, 5 to 6:30 p.m. if you know a young man who might be interested in participating in that. So I'm going to give one last shout out to KONR for giving us the airtime this morning, and just let everyone know again, we have this fundraiser going on. Please, if you have a soft spot in your heart for local radio or, you know, community endeavors like this in Anchorage, this is a great one to support. The GoFundMe address again for our fundraiser is gofundme.com/spreadtheweird. You can also learn more about KONR and all of the shows that are available on the station, how you too can get plugged in as a volunteer if you have an interest in radio, and just in general, all of the work the station does on the website outnorthradio.com. So that about wraps it up for the Mountain View Post Radio Hour today. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in and being with us today. Of course, you can listen to archives of all past episodes of the show at mountainviewpost.com. That's mtviewpost.com. Thank you for joining us. We hope to have you with us again next week, Saturday morning, or maybe see you down here at the studio for our open house later today. See you next week.